Hello, it's Beverly with the Intuitive Interior, and it's time for your June Ching reading. So again, we're just to kind of quick recap. We're in a Yang Wood Dragon year. So we've got now for the month of June, we have a Yang metal horse. It's not always a Yang metal horse, but the month of June is always associated with the horse element. And so I want you to think about, when I first looked at that, um, everything starts first with what is the flavor of the year? The Yang Wood Dragon energy. It's almost like there's this huge forest, this of lots of goals, lots of ideas, lots of I'm gonna go do this and I'm gonna do this and nothing's gonna stop us energy. The dragon kind of helps us to get maintain some perspective, but this is the month for putting boots on the ground, for getting, actually taking those action steps, because we may have had all of that wonderful influence of goal setting, perspective shifting. Let's look at the big picture. Well, now we're bringing out the axe. We're going to carve that path, and we're going to take the four steps of the fourth, the hooves of the horse. We are putting, as putting action to our intentions. So the card that kind of symbolizes the overview for the month of June is called duration. Notice is a mountain there with four different viewpoints of the four different seasons. So duration stands for constancy, continuity, endurance, perseverance, maturity, strengthening, stability, and a deep commitment. The commitment piece is something I really want you to keep that in your mind. Because again, a lot of times we get these great ideas, but until we actually commit to them, it just is a nice idea. So on here under the hexagram, on the bottom, we have the Sun, which is the Yin wood trigram, and on top is Zhen, which is the Yang wood. So, okay, remember I said we're in a Yang metal horse, which is a fire element thing, and this is coming up with all this wood stuff. What do you need to start a fire? You need to have wood. So in this, we've got both the yin and the yang version of this. You have what's growing underneath, the commitment, the fire in the belly. How is that showing up for you and the commitment you're making to those around you? And then the yang at the top, that's the actual, okay, we're taking the action steps now. We're going to commit to this goal, and we're moving forward on it. So one of the little extra pieces that I wanted to read from the clarification book is that, let's see, in human life, stability manifests as a firm footing in the here and now that takes each step with deliberate intention and doesn't get sidetracked by seeking shortcuts. It arises when you believe in yourself and in your endeavors to focus totally on the task at hand. The spirit of duration holds the vision, focus, or holds the vision, rain or shine, feast or famine, so that you can remain steadily on course and can adjust to constant change without compromising your integrity. Because this is again the example, or the shows the image of the mountains. It's really helping us understand that we're going to be seeing some more change in June. I don't think anybody can say that the life that we've been living for the past several years has been boring. If it's been boring, then lucky you. But there have been so much transformation that's happening that sometimes it's really difficult to keep up. Sometimes it's hard to stay grounded as the entire world shifts under our feet. Hence the reminder to be the mountain. There are many ways for a mountain to appear, but it's still grounded and it's still holding firm to what it is. Now, a little bit of history here. The ancient I Ching viewed this particular card, this duration card, um, through as the ability to endure through the highs and lows of life. Um, and often when it would come up, they would interpret it as, oh, well, you're about to, form a partnership because, you're going to be committed. This is about endurance and perseverance. So you are either going to be entering into a business contract or a very significant relationship, typically marriage. Um, it's understandable that they would kind of come to this conclusion because um, as it says here, harmonious relationships are like mountains. They are a testament to the dignity and inner strength that remain unwavering in the face of hardship or adversity. Okay, I'd also say that it's also good to have those even when in the good times. um, I'm not saying that suddenly everybody's going to get married this month, but I am saying that perhaps you may want to even evaluate how your commitment to yourself is. Are you eating the diet that is optimal for your body? Are you moving your body? Are you surrounding yourself with people who are supportive and life affirming? That's where are they going to be the mountain for you? And if they're not, then maybe you give them a little bit less time, or just view them as the leaves that blow through when things change. Okay, but for some of the clarification cards, we're going to start off with number 49. 49 is called revolution. This one's come up before. It's always a little bit nerve-wracking, like, oh, what does this mean? But this is, again, over here, this bottom line is the fire underneath the trigram, and the top trigram is Dui, which is yin metal. So think about it as a fire under that is purifying the metal. So you got maybe silver, you're heating it up to burn away the impurities. The image on here does have a person who's a group of people actually with a transforming through flames into this phoenix visual. The words on this card are transformation, a radical change, give up the old and make way for the new, a quantum leap. It seems a little incongruous to have that in this month of duration, of perseverance and mature. But if you think about maturity, you have to have a certain level of maturity to be able to handle this kind of radical shift. So the focus line on this one is number 1. Again, if it's 1, 2, or 3, that's more of an internal process. So this is about us going inside and having our own internal revolution. Says the inner and outer revolution expands our horizons by removing the blinkers that previously kept us on a certain track but are no longer appropriate. There is a time and a place for everything, and adjusting your eyes to the new perspective is the first step before proceeding. I mean, think about how many times have we walked into a room where the light is very dim, and you really have to pause for a while, for a moment, while your eyes adjust. So that's kind of what's happening. What this card is telling us is to what to expect. Things are going to change. We're going to have to just be like Google and recalculate. Let's see. There's one other thing over here I want to say. Okay, it says if everywhere you turn, the outlook appears shrunken, dry, and limiting, it's probably because life is urgently trying to tell you something. If it's I'm going to come back and say this. When this came up once before. If the shoes that you wore as a 6-year-old, they're not going to fit if you're 16 or 26 or 46. You have to constantly be like the snake, know when it's time to shed that skin, to wriggle out of a space that is too confining, or you will not make it. You know, if a snake cannot shed its skin, it really will die. So create as much space as you can this month for the new, because you're not going to necessarily get things right, but you have to be able to adapt. Um, and look at it honestly as a game. How, what kind of cool new things am I going to learn? Is this, if we look at it and view change from a lens of curiosity, it really lessens the sting out of leaving behind the old. I don't know about you guys, but I remember I had a pair of shoes that I just loved as a little girl, and it was so sad when I outgrew them, but such is life. Now, the next card is actually um, the one right next to it, which is number 50. Now, the cauldron has come up before. It has the image of what looks like a Buddha holding one of just the brass bowls. But to think about a cauldron also comes up a lot of imagery for, witches. I mean, how many nursery rhymes, double, toil and trouble, cauldron burn and boil and cauldron bubble. It's a cooking pot. It's a cooking pot. It's what you throw things into in order to make a delicious stew. So the cauldron talks about inner alchemy, mastery, spiritual renewal, consecrate, contain, rejuvenation, and discerning wisdom. Wisdom. It's a good thing. On the trigram on this, the bottom trigram is sun, which is the yin wood, and the top trigram is li, which is fire. So the way that you can think about that is what kind of a container, what is surrounding this heated container, and then what is being inside of that. The focus line on this one, again, is in the lower trigram. So it's, again, more of an internal thing. The line 1 is more about taking, the action steps you're taking. The line 2 is about actually making more plans. So it's beginning it's a little bit more of an active thing. So number 2 says, you have accomplished much. Now, the quality of your achievement and its positive reception by others have put you in the limelight. Don't be afraid of the abundance that is coming your way. It is well deserved. Unfortunately, the harsh criticism and envy of others goes with this new territory. Don't get sidetracked by that. When there's poo on your shoes, wipe it off and continue on your way. I just love it when, these books get just that. I think it's kind of silly that they would put, poo. Okay, great. You step on something yucky. This is a card that talks about bringing in a lot of more creativity, bringing in your own visions, giving birth to some dream that you've had. And because it's here in the line item that it's at, it is, again, about taking those action steps. Now, again, all of this doesn't really start June 1st. The month of the horse month goes from June 5th through July 5th. So there's some wiggle room here. But, you can start June 1st if you like. It's always good to take action steps. See, so this is a month. This card indicates that there's going to be some more of the whispering of that, go ahead. It might be, that serendipity that seems like just an overheard conversation that says, you're right. I need to go do this. I need to take that action step. Let's see, there was something here that I was going to share again. Talking about the cauldron is wisdom that purifies the false, superfluous, and superficial, and shifts the emphasis from the mundane to the higher values that help us live in peaceful harmony with nature and with each other. A lot of times that inner knowing, that little aha moment for me comes when I am out in nature, when I'm either hiking or working in the garden, or sometimes just staring at my trees. I encourage you to do whatever it takes to get into that space where you're listening and you're grounded. Now, the third card is actually the same card that we had last month as the overall flavor of the month. So because of that, it means that a lot of the themes that we had and the experiences that we had from May are still going to be present this next month in June, because it's number 34, great power. This on the bottom here is Chan, which is yang metal. So we've got that same yang metal flavor on this card. And on the top is Zhen, which is yang wood. Get very strong elements together. Great power symbolizes strength of character, authority, dignity, influence, self-confidence, leadership, peak condition, and potency. The card itself has kind of the dragon head on the top with looks to me like a wise person that is being supported by this dragon energy, all culminating in an image of the whole I Ching set of trigrams around the third chakra, the Dantian. That's the source of power in many of these cultures. Line 1 on this says, climbing over others to reach the top is a negligent use of power. You might have what it takes to get your way right now, but it is likely that exercising that influence would turn out badly in the end. So prepare the ground and let that be enough for the present. We've had entirely too many examples of in history, current and ancient, where those who wished to subjugate people that they deemed less than really didn't turn out all that great. I mean, it might have been fine for a while. Let's go ahead and just say, like, slavery, for example, that was of any kind. I'm not just talking about, what happened here in America, but any example of slavery is where someone says, I have power, you don't, therefore I control. At some point in time, that does switch. But more importantly, what it's doing is, in the cellular nature, our cells know that is not the way to go. Our cells prefer to work in harmony. And so because all of our individual cells really do prefer to work in harmony, and if there's something that is out of that harmony, if that's, you start in a different chord kind of thing, it damages our cells. So even if we are, I'll say we, even if someone is succeeding by othering and stepping on someone else to get to where they want to be, they are creating so much disharmony and potential disease in their system. I just don't think it's worth it. So, hopefully this great power will be used wisely. A sense of decorum and self-restraint is essential when you are the center of attention, although it is not always easy. Don't compromise your integrity by becoming petty or small-minded because of someone else's negativity. You have much to offer and can set wheels in motion that will be great for everyone. So stay the course. It really is possible to create a win-win world. And it is also possible for some people to just choose differently. And all I can say is that would not be my choice. So anyway, that's pretty much what I've got for this next month. Now, again, remember I mentioned that this this Yang Metal Horse month goes from June 5th through July 5th. And so I'm just using my Tongshu calendar here. The month breaker days coming up are, we'll see. So we actually have 2 days that are right in a row. June 4th is the month breaker for the snake month, because again, switching in the kind of in the beginning. And also June 5th is the month breaker day for those in the horse month. So the 4th and 5th will be a little bit, those are going to be great days to shift bad habits. Those are great days to start something that you've been meaning to. If you have been resisting making a change, those are fabulous days to actually make the change. Clash days, clash months, whatever, those are not always bad. Um, it's it can be a phenomenal thing to take advantage of that. So, all right, well, I hope that helps. Again, overall, going back to recap, the month of duration, the entire month, the flavor is deep commitment, remain calm, work on your endurance, your perseverance and stability, being ready for the revolution, for the quantum shift and the quantum leap that's waiting for you internally. Look at what you are putting into your glorious little cauldron and watch that inner stew of all of the ideas and talents and treasures and wisdom, and just all being put into this glorious cauldron as it is all bubbling up and creating something amazing for yourself. But again, got to add the right ingredients. And the final thing is great power. Use your power wisely. Remember, we all have great power, especially those who've been told that you're powerless or that people are trying to take your power away. Don't let them. It's okay. You can keep it for yourself. Okay, have a good one, and we will see you in July.